Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are back on the series of starter weapons. We're actually using the Paladin today. We are going to be using his fourth weapon because it is one of the stronger weapons in terms of benefits and negatives. So we're going to be using this weapon. It does start off with Fissure Strike as well as Staggering Blow, both very strong with regards to applying daze and using it to deal more damage. We're hopefully going to then get Holy Fire as well as Penance, and then if we can get the Radiant Light with Arcane Mace. If we can't, Hammer of Justice should be good because of crit, and hopefully we don't get Blade of Light, because then we're going to go and look for more area of effect that we don't necessarily need. It has too little going over there. So runes, we didn't prepare them, so let's just quickly do them over here. That's the same runes we've been using all the time. It even shows us, what the green ones are that we've been using on the character. But pretty simple, that's where all the runes are. We're running Unexpected Arsenal, Weapon Expert, Reroll Mastery, Multicast Mastery, Crit Mastery, Vulnerable Target, and Versatile Strength. Let's get straight into the run. Curse 7, we need to try and beat the Spellblade. He is on top form with this. Quickly, 60% crit chance, so that is one of the lowest ones that we've seen so far with regards to the weapons, as well as how much we get from it. But the Paladin's Ascension is a massive buff to the character, so with using it, it is going to be huge. We're going to get a huge amount of damage burst as well as crit chance and crit multi, so even if we don't have a lot of it right now, we're going to get a lot of crit chance and crit multi damage going forward as soon as our Ascension is active. So we probably wouldn't even need to use although we probably still do need to, because 60, what's that, like 25% of 60 isn't that high, but it definitely adds up to a large amount. So we're gonna, we did activate it actually, so I mean we're on 85% right now because of the Ascension, and let's see what we can get going for our skills. So there's Hammer of Justice, not a bad one. It's got a really good range. Again, with the crit, it's going to make its damage quite very good, but I think the best skill that we could look for might be something like Holy Fire, or turning all of our stacks into Disoriented, but we do have Staggering Blow, which is going to give us quite a lot of damage because of the stacking Dazed and Staggering Blow. It also transforms all Dazed into Disoriented like Holy Fire would do, so we are in a good spot there. We got Arcane Mace. The problem with Arcane Mace right now is that we don't have the exposed running from Radiant Light, so we might have to swap it out or just keep it and have it as a sixth like trash skill that isn't really doing anything for us. So if we don't get Radiant Light, then Arcane Mace is going to do like absolutely no damage because we don't have exposed stacks on, but otherwise we should be able to get something gone correct over here if we manage to get it upright. So let's go area of effect. Let's see what our final skill is going to be. Not much. There we go. Thank goodness we got the Radiant Light. That's going to put us in a very good spot. We can get rid of that now. Now we need to look for a bit of cast frequency for Radiant Light to keep it up all the time, and then Arcane Mace will definitely benefit the most from that. However, the Paladin does get disoriented from his passive already, or from the skill tree, so we are going to be seeing probably Staggering Blow dealing quite a lot of damage, especially if we can get a lot of area of effect on it. But now the whole point isn't to compare the different skills or starting skills. The point is to try and get these skills to deal the most damage as quickly as possible, so that we can beat the Spellblade's time. Hopefully this Paladin can do it with the help of its Ascension. If you remember the Spellblade's video, we really didn't use the Ascension that much, but we did use it, so we get to use everything else. It would maybe be better to do the whole series without Ascensions or XP growth. We were speaking about XP growth in the last video, and that maybe taking magnetics and things like that should be something kept away from this. However, I think we can keep it for now, because that's just how we're leading to the actual skills themselves. But there's some nice juicy upgrades over here. We can pick up a Doom as well, area of effect, Here's Merciless as well. It's going to be very, very helpful. And let's see what we can get going from here. I think we're in a very, very good spot. Because we're on Curse 7, we don't have the graphics up very, very high. But let's see where we can go. I think we've got like a 5 minutes and 41 second or 5:11 to try and beat. I can't remember off the top of my head what the Spellblade's time was. But I do know that Spellblade is currently winning. I do think that it's possible the Beastmaster and the Necromancer are definitely going to beat this time. I say I think and then definitely in the same sentence. I think it's going to beat the time, but we'll see just how well we can do with some of the other characters before we get to those ones. It's going to be very, very interesting. Also, probably one of the best characters will be Death Knight. We are obviously going to start off with Carnage as our starting skill, and that's going to be one of the contenders for the strongest one, because we all know from previous or from speed runs and things like that, that Carnage is one of the strongest games to speed run with, or to get the fastest time possible with speed runs. That and build Ballista, but Ballista isn't one of the starting skills, so we can't use it if we want to get to a very fast time. So we're gonna have to rely on Carnage for that. So this is all a race to see if we can do more damage than we're going to get from Carnage. It would be quite interesting if we beat our personal best using starting skills. That would be somewhat funny and interesting at the same time. But I don't think we're going to beat any personal bests for that, unfortunately. Alright, we got our Ascension up, so the bosses just melt, absolutely destroying them. And let's try and keep it going for as long as possible. It isn't like an ascension that lasts forever, so we don't really have to worry about it lasting forever, but we do need to try and get it to deal as much time as possible, be up as long as possible, so that we get the most amount of damage out of it. Again, we need to kill monsters or enemies quicker than we can kill bosses, because that's going to allow us to get more bosses to spawn faster. So the whole name of the game is to try and kill everything else except for the bosses as fast as possible, and then the bosses come afterwards, trying to kill them, the last set of bosses. Kill them as fast as possible. Alright, so we're actually in a very good space time. Well, actually, I don't know. We're on a pretty average space. I think they've all taken about the same amount of time. 5 minutes being the time when we finish the 4th set of bosses has become quite average now, or quite common, not average, common is the word I'm looking for. So we see that happening quite often with all of the characters and their starting weapons. We normally finish the 4th round of bosses at around the same amount of time. So it all boils down to how fast we can get the last set of bosses spawned and how quickly we can kill them as well. So let's see what we can go for that. There's some more area of effects now. We don't need the bleed. I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, and we're not really getting too many juicy upgrades either over here, but otherwise we're in a good space. I think the Paladin actually has quite a lot of different skill tags in his list of skills. So when we played like the Barbarian, we had a lot of swing. And when you play some of the other characters, even the Spellblade, a lot of swing came out over there. But 553, definitely not a contender compared to the Spellblade, but a really, really fun build to play regardless. We actually did our fastest time with our character and the weapon. That's actually really funny, but definitely not the fastest victory we've ever done. So we'll see how we go with that. Holy Fire dealing the most damage, and then Staggering Blow coming afterwards. So still very, very strong. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.